So these guys aren't really my sponsors or anything. I'm just chilling and having chips. Chips. And the flavor is cream and onion. Anyways, I think I'll be having a few guys joining on. So I had two nips, that is 180s of rum. I'm fine. And now we are waiting for our guests on the Willian debate. The debate. Yeah. So this is a debate about, do you feel that Willian has been unnecessarily criticized? So I'm just checking that, and we have Gunnar Parabol. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Not sure whether the mute button is on here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. One sec. Let me just get the. I think this is fine. Yeah.
I am pulling up my stats again. Just give me a sec. I closed everything because I thought it was not happening.
You can pull up whatever you want. This is gonna be fun.
I hope. I mean, I don't have many points. I just have a couple.
This is basically about why I feel Willian is unnecessarily criticized. And I know what points you're going to talk about. It's probably going to be the finishing.
Not really. We'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Okay, let me till then just go ahead and share the video on Twitter, because people on Twitter are crazy. They may either run after you, or they may run after me, whichever they prefer.
Well, my handle is not on there, so they cannot come after me anyway. They know my face now, though.
They won't come after you on the handle. They don't need a handle. Those guys don't have a life. They will text you on Twitter. They'll probably join the WhatsApp group and tell you that you talk shit.
Well, I do try to talk shit sometimes, so they're not wrong.
No, I hope probably you didn't find that guy called Shalab from Twitter.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have this. I'm not following him. So
no, neither am I. But I'm just kidding around. No, I'm just kidding around. But the way he talks sometimes.
Yeah, man. I mean, years and years of public embarrassment that Arsenal gives, you can do that to you. You know, it's not really his fault.
Blame the Kroenkes.
I don't think it's the Kroenkes' fault too. I mean, they put the money in, they got Pepe, and we see how that's turned out, right?
So I'm gonna definitely enjoy this, because I was actually planning a debate between, does Arsenal really need Brendan Rodgers? I mean, Brendan Rodgers, who's been humiliated in gameplay twice.
Oh,
yes, he won one game. He did win the first game, but today again, same thing happened. Yeah. So there are a few things that we can discuss on that as well, but I think we'll not get into that. Let's just get into the fact that, has Willian been criticized unnecessarily on social media? I wanted to do this debate before, but I guess this is an apt time. But at the end of it, as I promised you, I won't get into much of today's game, because if I get into today's game, then obviously then people will say that I'm just an opportunist. Don't mind the alcohol, but I'm just an opportunist, and I just want to talk about it now because the game is going on now, or he performed well today. And let me just get in a comment till then. With experienced Premier League managers, we assume that when they join a club in the same league, there is no adjustment period. Players do need time in their new surroundings. Let me not talk about it right now, because that is one of the points that I want to bring up. And Bhargav has joined as well. I think he's on your side. Hold on, Bhargav. Till Lyndon pulls up the stats about he's all Willian out. He doesn't support Willian, I guess.
I'm not Willian out, man. I just think he's not been good enough at all.
Exactly. That is Willian out for Arsenal at least. So, Bhargav, what is your take on Willian at Arsenal? And what do you think about it? Do you think he's been unnecessarily criticized on social media? Which I do, because I've seen his overall play. But let's start with you, then I'll get into it.
So Willian for me was always an interesting player, actually. At Chelsea, he has all the attributes, right, to be really good. But So for me, I've always wanted Willian at Arsenal. Actually, just not this. Just I didn't anticipate it ending like this. He's really good with like key passes and like he's really good defensively. But the problem is, I don't know. In this Arsenal team, I think it's really bad fit in some ways because our fans want him to be like the goal scoring winger. He's not really that person. He's had 3 good games this year. Which would be Fulham, Manchester, and then this one.
No, Benfica as well.
The part about Willian that I like is he could be that defensive winger that shuts down other wingers and for big games, right? So in certain big games, he could be that one guy that can be like that piece. And he can also come on. He's a squad player. And then so if somebody else scores, we can have him come back and do the defensive dirty work. So I think those parts are good. The problem with Willian I have this year is like at Chelsea, like he used to be, we expected him to come hit the ground running immediately when he came here, and to have 3 games, I think the criticism is fair on that regard from other people. Now, as far as Arteta using him and stuff, I think Arteta expects him to be super wide compared to like other compared to like what he did at Chelsea, so that could be one of the issues. But for me, I don't know what from now until the end of the season is going to determine how this ends up. So I hope we haven't crucified him too much that it's impossible for him to come back.
I am not worried about the fact that the fans may have crucified him enough. I am worried about the fact that the fans may have crucified enough for them to accept that he's actually better than what they expected. That is one of the main concerns. I don't think Willian cares about what goes on Twitter or what goes on social media, as long as he believes in his capability. But the thing is, if the fans believe that we have crucified him enough, then we won't accept him even if he puts in decent performances. That is one of the problems that I have with the fan base.
Yeah.
And again, one more thing I just want to add. If you saw Chelsea's performances last year, Willian was never that great on the wings. The best part of his play, even at Chelsea last year, was the fact that he used to carry the ball from midfield and transition it to the attack. Unfortunately, we let go of Guendouzi, who's gone. Right now, he's not there.
Yeah.
But Willian can do that same kind of thing and create. But the thing is, people expect him to be a goal-scoring winger, including Arteta at times. I'm not denying that. But the thing is, he's not a winger because he doesn't have the pace anymore. Now, the other... Once Linden gets into his stats, I am very patient about it because I got a lot of points. Now, the best example is Nicolas Pepe. He came to a different league. I agree. Different league, different club.
Yeah.
He did okay last season. He did okay. I'll say okay compared to what he was doing. Willian came to Arsenal this season. The fans don't want to give him time. They feel that 1 month is enough because he was at Chelsea. Same league, different club. How many players in the league have switched over to another club in the same league and have started performing at the same time, like instantly? You need to give the person a bit of time because what I could see was he was playing decent football. He was making off the ball runs, but his main problem were 2. One, finishing, and other, linking up with the players. Linking up with the players is obviously something that happens because when you move to a different club. Finishing, obviously, that was never that great at Chelsea as well. No one can deny it. Now, the other thing that I just want to add... Yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to add that, but So one last thing that I wanted to add is his best attribute were set pieces and penalties.
Right.
He doesn't take penalties at Arsenal because obviously who's taking penalties? Either Aubameyang or Lacazette. Today also Lacazette took that penalty. He's never missed a penalty for Chelsea. And today he took a free kick. Finally, he was able to take a free kick. David Luiz scored. When you're not giving the player the opportunity to portray his strengths at the club that he's moved to, and you expect him to perform exceptionally, who's to blame then? The club, the manager, whatever you want to talk about.
So that was my big issue with this whole Willian thing is like no one knows what the job description for him was, right? From the beginning. And I think like everybody wants him to be, I think no one knows like the player that people want him to be like. Are people expecting him to score like 15 goals a game, 15 goals a season, 10 assists? But in fairness, like there's a lot of players you don't have benchmarks for either. So that's also part of the struggle with Willian. But as far as I actually want to hear like what is it Gunnar Parabol? Is that his name?
It's Linden, but
It's Linden. Okay.
I
Yeah.
am waiting for him to get the stats. Till then, if
Yeah,
Linden,
Yeah.
if you, I'll give you more 30 seconds. Till then, I'll just quickly go through the comments. And John is saying, Cheddars is saying before that, with experienced Premier League managers, which he said again, we assume that they don't need time, but players obviously need time to
Right.
adjust. And John is saying, big up to you lads. When Willian does well, support all these Arsenal fans, loving up Pepe and downplaying what Willian did today. Why would we downplay Willian and big up Pepe? I mean, like, there's a difference. There's a difference between a free transfer and 72 million. That is another thing. I will get to that, but let's just go on to what Sankap says. Good to see Willian and get his form. What was missing with Willian was his dribbling abilities. He actually used to drive ball very well. He used to drive the balls. If anyone wants to comment on this, but dribbling is done. You don't get old wingers and old fullbacks in this league. If you get them, they're not going to do what you're expecting them to do. That is why Kyle Walker, who's linked with Arsenal, I don't want him at Arsenal. What will that 31-year-old do next year for us that Cedric can't do or Hector Bellerin can't do? He's going to be 31. He has his pace now, but he may lose it by the end of the season.
See, one of the things about Willian for me also, though, is when he played as a winger, like, I think the annoyance Chelsea fans had is, like, he would stagnate attacks, right? The biggest, for me, the time I saw that the most was the Southampton game when Arteta made him a cam. He stagnated every attack when he was playing as a cam. As a winger, it's interesting because sometimes we don't have a player that slows it down sometimes. Like against Manchester City, right? It was go, 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 go. And we played into their hands. With Willian, like playing like somebody like Willian, I think it would have helped to like slow the game down in really like high pressing games. So I thought Willian could be an asset, but it's been kind of difficult with not seeing the best of him, except now and then. So
I will disagree with one thing on that with you. The thing is, there are other off-the-ball attributes that people need to also monitor.
Oh yeah, hands down.
The problem is they see his finishing, which
Right.
I am saying is crap. It's not good enough for any Premier League team. Any Premier League, forget Chelsea, Arsenal, forget any of those. His finishing has not been good enough. No denying that. But the thing is, if the guy makes off-the-ball runs or creates space for other players to get in, then obviously that needs to be credited. But what is the trend going around? He's a Chelsea agent.
Yeah.
He's retiring at Arsenal. He doesn't want to play anymore for any more football. He's the next Ozil or whatever, those kind of trends. When you see those, then even a player, fortunately, the player doesn't look at all that shit because he knows there will be criticism. There will be some people supporting him. But if a player starts to look at those kind of trends, that will destroy a player's career. If you remember, the same situation with Ozil. Ozil got a lot of hate on social media. Yeah, so
actually,
see, I agree with Cheddar's what he just said right now. I was expecting to be a squad player. That's who I see Willian to be, right? He's a utility player that can. If you have four wingers, he's not our primary winger. He's one of the backups that can play a really good game at times. I'm guessing his stats wise, his key passes should be really high though, right? That's probably one stat that like Willian should have that like to be okay.
And just the thing that I want to address here is John is saying that he was driving well. Driving well comes from the center of midfield. It doesn't always come on the wings. Because obviously when you want him to be a winger, you will expect more take-ons. Not be the person who's driving the ball forward. And that is what I could exactly see. At Chelsea, he was driving the ball through the midfield, like what a Kovacic does. If you are expecting a Kovacic to have a lot of take-ons, it's never going to happen because he doesn't do that. If you want, you can't compare maybe a Callum Hudson-Odoi or a Pulisic to a Kovacic because that player is going to be driving the ball transitioning the ball from defense to attack. And that is what I could also see. And the other thing, obviously, were free kicks and penalties. But unfortunately, for some reason, we are giving those to Dani Ceballos. We're giving those to Pepe. We even give those to Lacazette at times. David Luiz was taking free kicks ahead of Willian. And today, I'm forget about today. But overall, when you know that you're getting a specialist free kick taker, imagine you getting Ward-Prowse in your team. Ward-Prowse is in your team, and you're not giving him free kicks. So what's the point of having Ward-Prowse in your team and you criticizing the guy saying that this guy's shit, but you're not playing to his strengths? What is the point of having maybe say an Aubameyang in your team, and the fans say that okay, we are not playing to his strengths, so he's not performing. But when you're playing Willian, you're just saying Chelsea agent.
Actually, we don't have a key set piece taker in our team, right?
Like we do. That is why we got Willian.
Yeah, that's actually I forgot about that. But I forgot about that part sometimes actually.
May I come in? May I come in here, Nitish? Yeah. So,
yes,
as opposed to what you were saying, I don't have a stat for free kicks taken, but for corners taken, he is actually the highest per game. He's the highest in Arsenal. So when he is on the pitch, he is the one taking the corners. If he's taking the corners, then most likely he's also participating in the other free kicks as well. And also, you said that he likes to drive forward with the ball. He used to like to drive forward at Chelsea. But if that was the case, you would expect him to have a decent proportion of his passes going forward, right? But what we see is that he has just 15% of his passes going forward, whereas 85% of his passes are going sideways and backwards. When you compare that to Pepe, it's 21% for Pepe, 24% for Emil Smith Rowe, and 25% for Bukayo Saka. And I think that's something that has changed in his game, where he has become less ambitious while going forward, and he's become a little more pragmatic, which credit where it's due. It is useful. It is needed at times, right? You need some games like the Benfica game where we just pulled ahead, and we need to stay ahead. So you cannot have someone who's always trying to push forward, like Pepe is always trying to take on, because you can lose the ball that way. But in that case, you would expect him to have better defensive output. However, his defensive output is also below Pepe's, then leaves you with the point: what does he bring to the table that maybe a Pepe or a Saka or a Emil Smith Rowe does not? And we don't have a good enough sample set for Martinelli or to bring up his stats as well, and I'm sure they will be down. The stat that I was really looking for is the running stats, which I couldn't find. I think those are all behind paywall. But I'm sure those are below as well, because he always seems a little more lazy on the pitch, and that was a criticism that Pepe and even also always had.
And Aubameyang,
yeah. At least, so Aubameyang's criticism is that if he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything. Right?
Exactly.
If Aubameyang's not scoring,
that is the thing. Sorry, that is the thing, Lyndon. If Aubameyang doesn't score, fans say he's not going to do anything. Let's accept it, because he has been at the club for around 3 to 4 years now. But Willian just coming in, and one more thing I like to add, which Bhargav said. Bhargav said that the guy has been doing his defensive side of things. Now, when you go backwards and try to defend for your team, Pepe doesn't do it. If you remember, but this was one of the reasons why Pepe
better defensive output than Willian this year.
But he has. If you see the total number of, if you see on the pitch, Pepe has a very limited set of defensive skills. He doesn't go back, and even now he has stopped going back. The one more thing, when Willian is going back, obviously his passes will be either sideways or it will be backwards, because he's doing defensive duty. And even in today's prospect, if you see, Pepe doesn't do anything defensively. If Pepe had to defend, then half of his attacking play would be dead, if not more.
That is perpendicularly opposite to what the stats say. In the stats, Pepe is making more duels. Pepe is making more interceptions, more blocks. And if you're saying that Willian is defending more, one of these figures should have been higher, but none of them are.
No, but the duels and the blocks don't mean that he's making it at the other end of the pitch or which end of the pitch. They don't specify that. A heat map could probably say that. He could be part of the pressing, and he could be making those interceptions. Again, the thing that I'm seeing on the pitch, I'm not talking about stats. I get it, you have the stats, but what I'm trying to say is, we have seen Willian at the back end, like Aubameyang was doing when he was not scoring goals. A lot of people said Aubameyang is not scoring goals because this guy is actually going back and defending and helping Saka out, or Saka is the one who's pushing forward, and Aubameyang is seen in towards the mid or towards the back end of the pitch, which is not supposed to be the case. He should not be there. Exactly same thing goes with Willian. And another thing, Pepe joined Arsenal last season. Just one point. Pepe joined Arsenal last season. Willian joined Arsenal a few months ago. maybe 6 months. Yeah, 6 months down the line. Now the thing is, people are not ready to give this guy time to adjust because he was in the Premier League before as well, and they think that if you automatically switch from one Premier League to club to another, you will start performing. That is my main concern. Why do people think that?
Well, because I mean, I think his situation is a little different, right? Because if you had Mahrez, when Mahrez switched to like City, and it had to adjust to like Pep system, he struggled his first year actually adapting to that, and then so that's partly the reason I wanted to give time to Willian, but I didn't expect it to be this long, if that makes sense. I expected maybe because I think the difference with Mahrez and like Willian is Willian got majority of the starts earlier in the season, so he had a chance to like kind of like adapt a little bit quicker. But one of the things about Willian though, his 3 best games I said like were Fulham, which people try to discredit now because they're a totally different team and it was timing. The second one was Manchester United because I think he came back because he completely shut down. I wouldn't say shut down, but like the work he did on like Rashford was pretty insane that game. And then it's this one. The problem is he does have defensive work because he does come back and he does come back. Like he can be that guy. If the other team has a really strong winger, he can come back and like actually do a job on them. Take them out of the game sometimes, at least limit them. So, but that's why it's like an asset. And so that I don't think any of the other wingers have. Now, what's his future? I don't know. Because I want to get to that point because I think I want to see 4 good games, right? Now I guess like a run of games would be nice. Just to see the next 4 games would be nice. Just to see where he's at. But I think at the end of the year we have to make a decision on loaning him out and bringing someone else in, or like we have to think about something about that. So
yeah, also the reason why people don't want to give Willian time is because Willian's 32. He's already declining. He's almost already completely declined.
Like 30s, yeah.
A player like Pepe, he still has room to improve, because he's just 25, 26. He has another 4 good years ahead of him, whereas Willian has maybe 1-2 years ahead of him.
You're comparing him to the wrong guy. The person that you should be probably comparing him to is Aubameyang. Same age. If you're playing him on the wing, what does Aubameyang do? If he scores, he scores. If he doesn't score, nothing. If Willian plays there, if he creates a chance, if he gets an assist, he does something. If he doesn't do that, nothing.
I think it's a little unfair.
It's not.
Is it a little unfair because Aubameyang has set a benchmark of being the top goal scorer in the league, whereas Willian does not have that benchmark.
Yes,
so if you look at Aubameyang now and you say he's not performing compared to a top goal scorer, but he still has 5 goals in the league,
No, but exactly that is the point. People are considering Aubameyang's past record at Arsenal and saying we are not going to banter him. We're not going to point fingers at him because he has been with us for like the 3 to 4 years, 3 years and 3.5, you can say. He has been with us for those periods. But the thing is, with Willian, you got him at an age where he was already towards the decline. If you had gotten Aubameyang at that similar age, then what would you say? That is the difference. But the point is that people say that we're not playing to Willian's strengths. We are trying to play to Aubameyang's strengths. We are trying to fit in Aubameyang anyhow. We are trying to say Aubameyang needs to be in the team. He needs to be our main guy. He needs to be at the center of every attack. We are trying to do that. But with Willian, he's just another guy. We got him for free. So who cares? If he doesn't succeed at Arsenal, we'll either sell him off or we'll just keep him as a squad player.
Which of Pepe's strengths are you playing to, man? We are playing Pepe out on the wing. He's not playing as an inside forward as he did at Lille. But he's still scoring. And if you look at all 3 goals today, they all started with Pepe. And none of them started with Willian. Even though Willian put the assist one to the
third goal, Lacazette.
Pepe was dribbling from the halfway line to almost towards the box line.
Lacazette stole the ball. He got it off of Johnny Evans. He held him off. And then he played the pass to Pepe. And that is where it started. If fans today say that that third goal started off with Pepe, then they are discrediting Lacazette's contribution because he did that not just once, he did that twice or thrice to a defender whom Arsenal fans probably wanted at Arsenal, Johnny Evans, when he left Manchester United and he was going away. That is one more thing. I'm not saying it's you, but I'm saying Arsenal fans don't even credit Lacazette at times. They say that Lacazette is doing good, sell him. This is the attitude. They don't say...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, that was it.
So what Lacazette's doing is exactly what we expect from Giroud, and Giroud got the same treatment that Lacazette's getting today. Because Giroud would hold up the ball, Giroud would come back, he would win strong ground duels and then take the ball forward to his other players. And he would never get credit for it. He did the same thing for France at the World Cup and they won the World Cup. And that's really good number 9 play,
A Giroud fan here who defended him, who still defends him. I even said this. Aubameyang is a bigger lamppost than Giroud.
Okay. Aubameyang he's had 25 goals a season, 22 goals a season in the Premier League. Giroud never had that.
I mean, I don't know. I think Alba's still going to come good. We need to get him scoring again. He's rhythmic. He'll eventually come good. It's just a matter of I still don't know. Like, where should we play him? Like up top or like to the left? I don't see him as a winger. He doesn't have the skills to be like. He has a couple step overs in certain games, but not every game. He takes step overs against all the easy teams and all the easy fullbacks, and he does a lot of tricks on them. But like all the other ones, it's pretty much running behind, and if you can't get past them, pretty much you're expecting the guy to just to go missing for the entire game. That's been the trend this year. So we got to get him in good positions at least. And so I don't know I don't know where to play him. Personally, I'd play him up top. One of the things I hate not doing is going back to the 2-striker role, playing both strikers.
It makes us weak in midfield. That is the main problem.
That is and so then it just comes back to the whole midfield issue.
No, and the other thing is when Lacazette was actually being asked to drop into the midfield at the start of the season and play like a Firmino kind of role.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang to play as an inward forward. People were saying Lacazette is shit because he doesn't score goals and a striker's role is to score goals.
Because that was one of the big issues, actually. Yeah.
Actually, I think Lacazette was scoring in the first 2 games of the season. I think he was scoring and Aubameyang was not.
He did, and Aubameyang also did. But what happened is he missed a chance or two against Leicester. He missed a chance against Liverpool, and people are thinking that Lacazette will be as clinical as Aubameyang, and that becomes a problem. No 2 strikers are going to be the same. Willian is not going to start scoring goals like Aubameyang. Saka is not going to start scoring goals as Aubameyang. Saka has different attributes. Willian has different attributes. And even Aubameyang has different attributes. I am trying to find out which are those, but he does have some attributes. I'm not against Aubameyang, but I know when he doesn't score goals, I find it hard to spot him on the pitch. It is a fact.
For a striker to miss a setup is as good as someone like Granit Xhaka or David Luiz giving a penalty. The opportunity cost is still 1 goal, this way or that, and that's why I think he gets the same kind of stick that Xhaka or Luiz get when they give away a shitty free kick or what Ceballos did the other day. It is the same thing essentially because you are differentiating by 1 goal in those cases, and that's completely fair. You expect our strikers to be clinical because you cannot create an infinite number of chances. The chances that you create, you have to take. And if you don't take the chances, you're going to lose the game because the opponent is going to have like Aguero or a Giroud, and they're going to take the chances and win the game.
No, but recently also I could see a lot of people on Twitter and other social media platforms saying that Aubameyang is missing a lot of chances. But he doesn't get the same stick as Lacazette. He doesn't get the same stick as maybe a Willian. Okay, let's leave Willian out of this because he's just been at the club this season. But he doesn't get the same stick as Lacazette. Even if Aubameyang misses 3 to 4 chances in a game, I mean the Benfica first leg.
Yeah,
if he had scored his chances, if he had scored his chances, would we even be thinking? Would we be worried about the second leg?
He goes for the good man.
Yeah, exactly. And let me just quickly go to the comments. Cheddars is saying Oba costs the team points. 2 world-class strikers win points by themselves when the team is playing bad. He did that last season, but this season has been different. And big up to Sam. And he's saying that I'm still making a Lacazette love fest. Willian played well today, so did Pepe. I think there is a big glitch in the matrix, and Keanu Reeves is going to retire. I think he's already retired. But the problem is, Pepe will get all the credit in the world today. Okay, finally the 72 million striker, winger, striker, whatever you want to call him, has showed up. The attacker has shown up.
He was better, man. To be fair, he was much better than Willian too.
No, definitely
Willian was
not.
way more influential today, like way more influential. So he should get way more credit. But the problem with Pepe at the very beginning of the game for about 30 minutes didn't even get going. Like he did pick it up towards the middle of the game, but he got pocketed a bunch of times at the beginning. Up until our first goal, I didn't even know where our first goal was coming from for like majority of the game, and then two set pieces. That was the other thing. Like it's not open play that we scored from, so that was another big deal for me today.
The other thing I'll add to that is, if not for Willian, Pepe wouldn't be on the score sheet. That is one. Second thing, Pepe had that was a clear open goal that he created for Pepe. Any other striker, if he took that shot and it got blocked, that chance was done.
Pepe was making his own chances today, man. You remember the first half when he almost got the penalty? He instantly got the free kick right outside the box. Then second half, the penalty also he won with his dribbling.
No, what I'm saying is, anyone else there at the center of the box and Willian plays that pass should have scored. Anyone. It was an open goal. The second thing that I'm saying is one more thing. Odegaard literally begged him for like 5 seconds, if not more, to play one pass after the 3-1, where he had the ball. He was like with one defender and the keeper. He could have just played the pass down to Odegaard, who was literally begging him for a pass. He didn't play the pass. He held on to the ball, and there 2 defenders came in and they took the ball away from him. He was still overplaying after we being 3-1 up, and people say that he's a confidence player. After having all the confidence in the world, he was still overplaying. He was still doing the same shit. Today is an overall great performance where we dominated Leicester. But if Pepe didn't get that penalty, would he still be relevant in the game?
Yeah, he also got the first free kick, which we scored from, and I don't see where the Pepe is coming from. He was brought down 9 times this game. I was counting 9 times in one game.
Willian in the first.
That doesn't happen if you're not doing that.
See, Willian in the first half, like he was the most high energy player that started most of this. Everything was going down the left side, which was a bit problematic initially. Then, because like we kept getting that whole like Xhaka mistake today. And for the most part, one of the things I actually wanted to talk to you guys about is, are we keeping both our cams, or should we bring in one more experienced cam? Because for our system, I think that's the most important position, right? The cam position. Now, I can see ESR and Odegaard growing together, right? But like, do you think we need to bring in one more person to kind of mentor them as a veteran, or like do we have to pick between one of the two?
I actually don't see Odegaard coming back again for one more loan term. I don't think Real Madrid would allow it.
But I feel like Real Madrid's going to ask for us to buy Ceballos as a package deal, though. I feel like that might happen.
Let's bring back Mesut Ozil.
That's not happening.
But honestly, what I feel is that we may have a chance of probably getting Odegaard, and we may have to maybe take a player like Jovic or someone else on loan from Real Madrid with the option to buying. I don't think Dani Ceballos will be part of any deal. If Arteta gets Dani Ceballos, I was thinking of saying this. If Arteta signs Dani Ceballos, I'll probably go Arteta out. But no,
man,
I don't want him either.
If you don't sell Elneny, I'll be Arteta out, man.
No. I think Elneny has a few attributes that we need. Like today's game was perfect for Elneny. I'll tell you why. If he had played Thomas Partey would have been floating ahead. But with Leicester's midfield, you don't need a second midfielder who's floating ahead. Your 3 players up front and your striker should be good enough to play the kind of play that Lacazette did. So, but if you're also getting in another player from midfield, from those 2 guys, that is from your holding midfielder and your defensive midfielder who's floating ahead, then you leave your defense vulnerable. So that is why I did not actually criticize the fact that Elneny was playing. I could see that, because even last time we did something similar and we dominated Leicester. Unfortunately, in the last leg, they got a Jamie Vardy goal and that wrapped it up. Otherwise, Leicester was being owned in that game. That is why I wanted to have that debate. That is, do we really need Brendan Rodgers? Or I think I am happy with the management that we have seen against Leicester, at least. I'm not talking about overall in the league. Leicester is doing better than us because they have certain recruitment, better players that they have signed and all those things. But do we really need Brendan Rodgers looking at Arsenal versus Leicester? I think Arteta has owned him tactically twice already this season.
I think Brendan Rodgers is doing well now because he has a squad that's really good. A few of these players have been champions of the league, and the rest of them are not too far behind in terms of quality either. A good compare, Brendan Rodgers would be what he had at Liverpool. He had a squad similar to what Arsenal have now. He had it at Liverpool, and he really struggled. Then he went to a flat track league like Celtic, and he just owned the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. And then he left them. Yeah.
So with the Odegaard situation, I think I see, like, if he does well for the rest of the season, I think we should buy him, because it's going to take whichever Cam that's going to come here next year. It's still going to take him like an entire 6 to 12 months to get used to the systems anyway. And if we're already decided on this 4-2-3-1, I think it is best just to buy Odegaard in that sense, because it's going to take time. I mean, that is probably the hardest position to play for the most part. So I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know how much we're gonna pay either. That's the other big part. But that's interesting what you said with the Madrid like loan situation. They might ask us to buy like one of the loan players.
Actually,
yeah, because
the problem here is that Modric and Kroos they're both getting on. They're almost running out of time, and Madrid do need a replacement. And I think they won't look to Odegaard. They might even look to Ceballos to sort of fit in and fill in the gaps where Modric and Kroos cannot play. They cannot play 40 games a season anymore. They can play maybe 20, 25. And they'll need their loanies to come back and do a shift.
No, but the thing with Odegaard is he's a cam. He's not exactly holding midfielder or a defensive kind of player. So he's not going to be playing there anyways. And if they are looking to sign Mbappe, that is what their main target is at the end of the season. They will need to sell some of their players.
Yeah.
Dani Ceballos will probably be going to a lower league, or maybe the same league, Spanish club. That is where he'll end up, because Arsenal are smart enough. This time they were smart enough not to sign him on a permanent deal. They got him on another loan. And Luka Jovic, his career at Real Madrid is kind of dead. If he can revive it going on loan and they can sell him off, then I think that is what they will try. Quickly just going through the comments, and Jimmy is saying we need to play more youth. Where will you play youth? And if you end up losing games, then what will be your reaction? That is another thing. The third goal, it went in. Odegaard left to Willian, who set up Pepe. My dead grandma would have scored that goal. Exactly. So I'm not giving credit to Pepe for that goal, because he was just there and the ball came to his feet. But before Odegaard and Willian got involved, it was Lacazette taking on Evans, shielding the ball from him, and then he playing it. That happened not just once. That happened 3 to 4 times in the second half at least. I didn't see it completely the first half, but at least in the second half, that happened 3 to 4 times. He was the one who was just lobbing the ball to the left hand side, to the right hand side, and transitioning the play from the center to the right. And Pepe used to stand there like a free guy with no one actually marking him. I don't have the videos right now, and I don't think I can play it on YouTube. But I remember clips of Pepe being standing there, stranded there alone, with no one around him on the right hand side. Lacazette will just get the ball at the center. He just lob it on the right, and Pepe would run with it. And also, I saw those images going around on social media saying that with Cedric playing today, and even on the WhatsApp group, if you remember, Lyndon, with Cedric playing today, Pepe has created these many runs and all those things. The left back in the first half was dead. He was trying not to embarrass himself. He was not doing anything. I think his name is Thomas. I don't remember his full name. He was trying to just fit in. If that was James Justin, Pepe would have been man-marked. That was the case. And even Brendan Rodgers understood that if I don't take this idiot off at halftime, we're going to get fucked even more.
That's my problem with Pepe, actually, because when we played Villa, right? What's his name? Matty Cash completely shut him down.
Exactly.
Pepe couldn't get past. He couldn't do any tricks. He couldn't ball over the top, ball through the middle. Everything was shut down. When he played like Semedo, he made a meal out of that one. That was probably his best moment of the season, right? That's the best goal I've seen. And all the other times, it's he does play better on the left, because I think he has to think more. Otherwise, it used to be like just cut in, take the shot. For the most part. So for me, I always thought Pepe is a squad player, actually, sadly. I mean, I think he could improve, but it's just he's not there yet, if that makes sense. He just doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like we need like 4 wingers, right? 2 squad ones and then 2 really, really good ones who can like beat fullbacks. And I don't see Pepe as the primary 2. I don't know. What do you guys think?
The only problem is we can't have a 72 million squad player.
That's the problem. So either we take the hit on that one. I feel like we're either going to take the hit on that one or we're going to have to loan him out next year. So I don't know what's going to happen with that one, but
yeah, Lille did a number on the Arsenal management when they sold him for 72 million.
I mean, Raul probably made some good money off that too. So
he should have been sued for
can't say
that. He should have been sued for that, literally. Not just sacked, but sued as well. But anyways,
Yeah, but if we try to sort of let go of Pepe now, I think we won't get anything more than 35, 40. If we're really lucky, that is.
I would take it. I would take it. No,
And
I'll tell you why.
at that cost, you wouldn't get a better player than Pepe. So what's the point of
No,
selling
no,
Pepe, you know?
no, I would take it. We would get a better player than Pepe. Now I'm telling you why I would take it. Get rid of Pepe. Get one guy from maybe another championship club. Maybe get a Buendia, or maybe get another, maybe even a defender. I don't care. A defender, maybe like Max Aarons. Spend 40 million on him. Trigger his release clause. Get him in. And get him in and let him play at Arsenal. That guy will create as many chances as probably Pepe does. If he, I know he's not going to score the goals. I'm saying he's not going to score those goals. He's not going to give you the numbers in terms of goals. But even if he gives you those numbers in assists or more than Pepe in assists, I would take it. I'll tell you why. Because we want to get rid of Bellerin. We can get rid of Bellerin. We can have Max Aarons. We can have Cedric as a backup. We're done. We're sorted on the right hand side. Yeah. If we are saying maybe say Saka there, who needs Pepe? Martinelli will eventually jump in on the left hand side, or we can get another young player there, and we'll be sorted out. See, the thing is, let's not have this fear of making a loss, because what I've seen from Pepe, he's a decent player. But anyways, we are making a loss in terms of dropping points, in terms of losing big games with Pepe around. Today, yes, if you're tagging Leicester as a big club, I can see that, okay, it was a decent game for him. But again, if not for that penalty and if not for that goal that was a tap-in, Pepe probably would have never been on the score sheet.
He's done a lot more. I think he's definitely man of the match today. I don't.
No, I think Willian is the man of the match today.
It's not even close.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think people are debating this one actually. Pepe versus Willian for the man of the match today. I think. I'll just leave it to people. We'll just leave it. I mean, it's like a push at this point. We won. Who cares? But the biggest thing for me, I want to see this year.
You want to say Willian, but you're shying away.
No, for me, it's Willian. It is Willian, like 100%. But I want to see 4 good games. I mean, I get why like people are hesitant to say Willian, because people who have crucified him all year.
Exactly.
Like it's really difficult. Like I was on a match results stream earlier today, right? I was on the watch along on S Street League TV. Steven himself had a difficult time accepting Williams' performance today. At the very end, he did accept it. He's like, yeah, like for this one game, he played well, but it's really difficult for some people. I get that, and it's fair in some ways because it's like 25 games later, but it's one of those things. But I want to see a good run for him. I want people to get behind him, and hopefully we can see the best part of Willian. I mean, we paid a lot of money. I think
we should play the same lineup against Burnley next week, because we again have the Europa League.
Saka has to come in. That's the thing. Saka has. No, I think
we rest Saka for 1 week and let him play the Europa League exclusively in the Europa League now, because that's the basket in which all our eggs are. If we part of the Europa League, our hopes of Europe for next season are just done. I don't see us finishing anywhere close to the top 6 this year.
I would actually like to give Saka the week off and have him be ready for Olympiacos and Spurs. That would be ideal. But what's our biggest, for me, like the 2 positions that I think we need to address this summer are Cam and Partey's partner.
I'm just stuck on one thing.
We need to address Xhaka's position as well as right back. or even over the cam.
Or left winger.
No, I'm just obsessed
say
with
left
one
winger?
thing.
Those three positions, I think, like need to be addressed, like left winger, Cam, and Partey's partner, whoever that is.
No, I'm just
if you're willing to, oh, Nitish, you have something to say.
No, I'm just scouting Twitter to find out who the man of the match was, the official one.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was Willian actually, but
I feel so bad for the fans now.
Oh no.
Imagine abusing the shit out of Willian 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
and having to say that the guy is the man of the match now.
Yeah.
He did put on a good game. To be completely fair, he did put on a very good game today. It was a Willian of Chelsea.
I mean, it's his best week at Arsenal to like today, and like the assist on against Benfica. So yeah, he's had a good week this week.
I lost my shit when he assisted the ball against Benfica. I thought he was going to mess that up completely.
I'll just read out one comment which says, "Finally remembered he's Brazilian." Anyways, but I still didn't see the official verdict. I think it is him, but I don't know. But anyways, that is that. Let's not get into it.
There's a lot of people hesitant to say it. Actually, I'm not. You're not wrong on that. Like, it's just 6 months of crucifixion. Like, eventually they will. Hopefully, people just get behind him now. But we'll see.
No, the thing there was. I think before the Benfica game, I don't remember. I think the Manchester United game, he played well, and people were like, it was an okay performance. He's supposed to be doing this. He just did okay.
I was pissed during
Old Trafford game, right?
I was pissed for the Southampton one though. I was pissed. The Southampton one was pretty bad though, like performance wise. Do you remember the Southampton one when he played Cam and everything? The FA Cup like exit, that was really bad. That was probably his worst game, like one of the worst.
But in that game, I kind of got the feeling that no one was bothering about the FA Cup. They were like, okay, we need to focus on the league. If you remember the players that were played in that game, and what could have been actually the tactical kind of thing, I think Arteta himself was not really bothered about it. He was like, I won the FA Cup. My focus now is right now on getting back towards the top half of the league. And the other thing is the Europa League. I could sense that. I'm not saying
it was still a strong side though. We didn't put up Pushosa by any means. We didn't put up many of our academy players. It was mostly the senior squad players only, just the bench strength. We played there.
See, that is the thing. That is the thing where you define it. Your team could have a second squad, which could be all oldies, and those could be your second team. But people don't accept it. People say that we put in all our experienced guys just to say that we lost because of the manager. You could have 5 or 6 old people in your team, or people who are experienced, but you don't rate them, and those are your second team squad, but you play them in games that you don't care about. I think there was also a crucial game at that point of time which we needed to win before the Southampton game. I don't remember which exactly was it, but I think there was one crucial game around it which we were more focused on. I think it was in the league. Was it Manchester United or was it some other game?
I think it's Crystal Palace probably.
No, there was one game around it, either before it or after it. I don't remember which one.
United was after the Southampton game.
United was after the Southampton game. Exactly. Yeah. So we were more focused on beating United, and we did after 30 odd years. 30 years to be precise, I guess. Yeah. So people think that just because they are old, or you can say experienced, they're not our second team squad.
But even the same team that faced Southampton League faced United again. So it was basically Southampton Cup, Southampton Leagues, then United League. And we did the same team in Southampton League and United League.
That's right.
No, we changed a few things around, if I remember. We changed at least 2 to 3 players there for the Southampton League. We took that more seriously because we were more focused on the league. I remember that. Yeah. I think Saka was one of the players. Yeah, exactly. So
Saka started, ESR started, and then Partey actually started that game. That's another this season. That's the other thing is like we didn't have a consistent Partey, and he's the biggest. Like he's our biggest signing this year. That's kind of like one of the sad points of the season.
And another thing with respect to the manager, no one was ready to discredit Thomas Partey for the thing what he did against Tottenham. where I called him out. If you are a professional player and you're injured, you go down on the pitch, you stop the game. You don't walk off the pitch, and then a goal is scored, and at the end of it, people are saying that is Arteta's fault. He was trying to push him on back.
You can't push it.
He was trying to tell him. He was trying to tell him, if you are a professional player, you should know the basics, that you go down on the pitch and stop the game, and that is where they scored. Any manager would have told him to go down on the pitch.
I don't even know why we played him personally, but that's I still don't think we should have played him, but I get why we played him.
It was a Spurs game.
It was a big game, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like some of Arteta's management, I don't quite get. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I know you love him, but
no, I don't. I'm not saying that with respect to Arteta. I am saying the funny part is no one even bothered to blame Thomas Partey for walking off the pitch when he was injured.
Because he's the one taking the risk, man. He's the one playing. It's his body.
No. If you just go down and call for treatment, the game stops at that point. It's the same thing. In fact, rather when you're walking off the pitch, if you have an injury, you may actually dislocate something or hurt yourself more. If you just go down and take a rest and they get you treatment or carry you off, that is actually way more. It makes way more sense.
I'm trying
to remember that. I'm trying to remember that sequence now because like it happened out of nowhere, right? Like
I'll tell you what happened. I remember
like the counter attack. It was like a counter attack, and then he just walks.
Bellerin was on their end. He put the cross in. He put it. It went behind Aubameyang. Aubameyang couldn't get it, and then they started the counter. Son was there next to Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
The ball came in. Thomas Partey just walked off. Son carried the ball. He played it to Kane. Kane went into the box, took a wild shot with his left foot, and he scored.
Yeah, three. It was like a 3-on-1, right? It was like a 3-on-1 at one point. 3-on-1.
It became a 3-on-1. It became that because Thomas Partey walked off.
Yeah.
And no one said that this is not what a professional player should be doing. Everyone said that it is Arteta's fault that he's trying to push him on, or why did he play him?
Yeah.
And when the lineup came out, everyone was excited. Thomas Partey is playing. Yay!
See, that game was difficult for me. Go ahead.
I think the way they were supposed to handle their injuries in the La Liga was this. So that's probably what they don't. Which is why he walked on the pitch instead of asking for treatment on the pitch itself. I think that's a difference in league, and that's what it's not what I'm saying. This is what I heard someone else say on another topic. I could be completely wrong about this.
I have never seen a player walk off the pitch in La Liga when he's injured. I have never personally.
No, for me, like that Tottenham game, I still look back on it sometimes, and I'm like, the first goal was brilliant, right? Like the first goal was out of this world. Like I mean,
Bellerin was crap.
He couldn't. I don't think he could have done anything in that game though. For that goal,
he could.
You think so?
Yeah, he could have put in a tackle. Yes, the Son goal. He could have put in a tackle.
That was like 25 yards out, man. It was like 25, 27 yards out.
Bellerin was there. He had tracked back. He didn't put in a tackle. He gave him enough space. Son ran it around him, and he scored. And he took that shot. I'm not saying that the finish wasn't great, but Bellerin could have done better.
You say he didn't put in the tackle, and that's why we. But what happens if he puts in the tackle and he gets late and he picks up a red card? It's the same situation that we had.
He wasn't the last man. He wasn't the last man.
Not taking down the man.
No, he wasn't the last man. He had the chance to put in a tackle early when he was like running towards Son. He waited, he went back, and Son then took a shot, tricking him around. So that was like basic Bellerin error. So no one could deny that. But the second one was literally actually Partey's fault. If he had gone down, the ball was in their box. They would have stopped the play at that point of time. The referee would have stopped the play. But when the ball comes to Son and then he carries it and he plays to Kane, and you are a man short, when a player walks off the midfield and then it's a counter attack, no one can do anything about it. But I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with what Partey did. I have the other problem with the Arsenal fan base, that no one blamed Thomas Partey for what he did, which is very unprofessional at any level. La Liga, Premier League, even for Ghana. No one does that. If you do that for Ghana, they will rip you to shreds at the national level. They will tell you, what the fuck are you doing? Are you seriously a national level player?
You get blamed for everything at the national level, man. That's,
exactly.
We don't see it often.
Have you ever seen throughout maybe 20, 30 years a player just walking off in an international game. No one does that. They go down and they get treatment. Obviously, that is the right thing to do. Because of the fact, obviously, if you're injured, you want the physios to be checking on you, especially when there is a counter attack. That is totally a Thomas Partey brain fade moment. No one can deny it. We troll Maguire for whatever shit he does. We troll Mustafi. Thomas Partey did a Mustafi there. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna. I mean,
I'm
that's
trying to think if that was better Xhaka, what would I have done Xhaka? I don't think Xhaka would have seen the light for another few days. He would have been.
Oh, yeah.
My problem is not that he did it. That is one problem. The other problem is no one criticized him. They said they were focused on the fact that Arteta was trying to push him onto the pitch. Obviously,
I
the
think
manager
half
will.
the fan base hasn't liked Arteta since the time he joined
The
Arsenal.
manager will always tell the player, you get onto the pitch and you go down there so that the game is stopped. But anyways, that is what it is. And Sam is saying that Brendan Rodgers has done a good job at Leicester. However, his teams have a tendency to drop off at the end of the season in vital games. They lost in the Europa League to Sparta Prague. And again today, a lot of I read some people saying that they lost intentionally in the Europa League. They want a Champions League spot this time.
I mean, for them, I have them in my top 4 to finish, but it really does depend on Maddison coming back, though. I feel like that's their biggest player because for creation purposes. Like, indeed, he's good, but I think like they really need Maddison back.
And they lost RV Barnes today as well. He's going to have surgery. He's probably going for surgery. And you know what, I will just say one thing. Let Jamie Vardy retire. All this Brendan Rodgers hype will be done. He may probably get Danny Ings on free. He could get him. But I think if Jamie Vardy goes and they don't get a proper striker, all the Brendan Rodgers hype at Leicester will be done.
That's the other thing is like Leicester is like I really like Leicester as a team, actually. Like, I think Crystal Palace should have been Leicester if they didn't pay Sacco and Benteke. They didn't pay for Sacco and Benteke and wasted a bunch of money. There's those like between the two, but I don't know. I hope they can make the top 4. I think that's like one of the teams I'd like to see, actually.
Crystal Palace could have been a Liverpool if they sold Zaha to us. If they sold Zaha to us at a reasonable price and a reasonable deal.
Like this year, yeah. Like
if they actually sold Zaha to us in probably say some parts, and probably got an Eze and a few other players that they have, young players, they could have even done a Liverpool out of it.
Yeah,
we could have been the top team in the league if we hadn't sold Van Persie the season we got Ozil.
There's a bunch I can talk. There's that topic just goes on and on. So, but like I would like to see Zaha if we still actually, but if there's like a better option,
I think it's best to be behind him.
Eze is a better option than Zaha. Eze any day.
Right now,
I would take Eze. I would take Eze over
like
Zaha.
Value, yeah. But we need like one really good winger though. One extremely good one.
I think we have Saka one side.
Saka still needs to grow. Saka still needs to grow, and we need to take some of the pressure off of him.
Martinelli do really hit the ground running once he's back in the fold completely.
Didn't Arteta say today that he's a bit disappointed with Martinelli or something like that?
I didn't read the comments.
I don't know why he's disappointed, but I have to like read that later.
Yeah, I think I read that he said that he's a bit disappointed with Martinelli for some reason. Maybe he's not able to recover from his injury or not able to step up because of his injury or something like that. I think I read that in his presser, the pre-match presser.
The problem with Arteta is because like he makes all these like snap decisions. There's some of them that are like really snap decisions, like very emotional, like Saliba.
That's said this long ago. He's very emotional with his choices. Otherwise, Granit Xhaka wouldn't probably be in the team, and Ozil would never get a chance again.
Bellerin would have been sold.
And Bellerin would be sold, but that will happen at the end of the season. No, but the thing is, if Arteta makes snap decisions, and I know a lot of fans say this, would Pepe still be in the team?
Yeah, but he crucified him like when he got that red card, though. Like pretty much, like for the most part. That's on Pepe's character. But
He said that was Pepe's fault. Pepe apologized, and you're done.
yeah, but why didn't you do? Okay, why didn't you do that with Xhaka?
He did.
Same exact thing. Like 2 weeks later.
He said Zaka's red card was worse than Pepe. It's the YouTubers and the Twitter brigade that didn't highlight it.
Yeah,
Did you see the fact that he said that Zaka's red card was worse than Pepe?
I've read that, but like it didn't. It felt more like it rubbing it under the rug, basically.
How Zaka was also dropped by Arteta
When
Thomas Partey and Elneny were playing well together. Zaka was on the bench.
Xhaka is a second best midfielder, man. Let's just
yeah, like I mean,
Now he-
that's the politics
But
behind
he was
it.
dropped.
There's politics behind it.
No, is there really politics behind Zaka being starting in the starting 11 right now? I don't feel so.
he's definitely a second best midfielder.
There's nobody else. Like I mean, he has like there's
Ceballos.
nobody else.
Other options.
No, so that
do
is
you
what
guys
I'm
think
asking
of,
guys about. Think about.
Guendouzi coming back from Willian?
Yeah,
Want
like
him back?
so the like the emotional decisions you can see Guendouzi, Saliba, Martinelli, what else? There's definitely a ton more actually.
Ozil was
Lacazette
one.
not playing after he was playing really well and then he just gets dropped. That's one of them.
Everyone playing over Cedric, I think, is as well. I think is emotional.
Yeah, Cedric. Pablo Mari.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I like this goes two ways, right? With emotion, it goes two ways. I mean, you're gonna really piss off like some of the dressing rooms, so you're gonna create these like dramas, basically, over and over.
I will disagree with a couple.
I think he's got all the players on board right now.
No,
Right now,
I will disagree with the Lacazette one. One, I think they want to sell Lacazette because they signed Aubameyang to a new deal. So Aubameyang is getting that preference because of that. Sell Lacazette is the kind of the way it's going. Guendouzi again, he has. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Aubameyang and Lacazette are on the same age profile. You ideally want a player that's really young and a player that's well experienced to be playing in the same squad, so that they both sort of make up for each other's weaknesses. Where the young player can do a lot more of the legwork, and the older player can come in form.
That is why I wanted Lacazette also to stay for at least 1 year, even if they let him go on free. I don't mind that because we need him.
I think our cash situation means we have to sell him. If you want to bring a good right winger, we need to sell. We need to offload someone. Or right back, sorry.
Eddie Bellerin.
We're getting 10
Niles,
for Eddie.
Niles, Bellerin, Torreira. Who else? 4 of those are there.
And Ketia.
Yeah,
actually, to see Torreira for 1 season at Arsenal. Torreira was really good when he just came over. When he just started at Arsenal from Sampdoria.
Yeah.
He was the kind of midfielder that we needed for quite a long time. The kind of midfielder that now we want Thomas Partey to be. But then I don't know what happened, and all of a sudden his form just dropped.
He didn't settle in England, and he's not tall enough.
I've said this before. But he's like a Fred in ways, right? He's like Fred in a lot of ways when you think about it, like qualities wise. But with Torreira, I think like he's not gonna. I don't want him back. I think he's served his purpose in some sense. Hate to say it. I think some of the Emery players they don't even want. They don't want anything to do with some of the Emery players.
He wasn't even an Emery player, but anyways,
like some
Emery
of them
want Nzonzi.
Yeah, I think we signed Torreira before Emery's deal was confirmed.
He was the player of that software. He was the software signing.
Yeah, but with the other thing with Torreira is like he's kind of won the FA Cup, right? Like, so he's not completely a waste player. Like he was part of that run, so he's not completely like Guendouzi is a different case. Pretty much got dropped after the first game. After everything was bought back. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We can sell Torreira at a no-loss situation. What do you get with 26? I think we can also offload him at 26 quite simply. He's a pretty decent.
Guendouzi's decent. 30 million. We can definitely get 30 million for that guy.
I'd like to see Guendouzi come back actually. Yeah, I know a lot of Arsenal fans would disagree, but now that now that a lot of the old guard are out of the dressing room, I think Guendouzi wouldn't be as distracted. I think Ozil did have
23?
quite a big thing. Ozil did have quite a big.
He's 22 now.
He's 20, right? 21.
Yeah, very young. I mean, I think he plays on the him and LR actually have a pretty good relationship. So I mean, I don't know. Our team, there's those three things we have to get this summer. A left winger, a cam. We had to finalize that cam situation because if that's our system going forward, we have to get that. And then we also have to get that the partner for Partey. I see Xhaka as more like a squad player from now on.
I don't mean Xhaka being a squad player. I think Xhaka's got good character. At least in the dressing room, that's what it seems like. Emery said the same, and Arteta has now said the same. So I'm sure Xhaka does have the leadership qualities that these guys speak of, and I think he'd be a good influence on some of the younger players as they come through. But I definitely don't think he's one of our starting 11.
I mean, and then this summer we also have to sell Kolasinac. We have there's a bunch of stuff.
Out of contract.
Oh, he's out of contract. Yeah, he's out of contract.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, and they already got the Schalke manager sacked. He and Socrates.
There's probably more to that situation. I don't even want to read about it.
No, but I'm focused on these two guys.
I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for every other team.
No, but I was just saying that Xhaka has been a squad player for the last 100 years. So
yeah,
he's always going to be a squad player only. But yeah, unfortunately,
he's been in our starting line for quite a while right now, and he was also Arsene Wenger's starting 11.
That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate that we got him over N'Golo Kante. But
yeah.
No, but the main thing is that is another point that I wanted to put in for the Willian discussion. Willian would have not been in the team if Pepe had stepped up before, because it would have been Saka, Pepe, and probably Lacazette or Aubameyang at the center. And we would have had maybe a creative midfielder in between. The reason Williams got the chances was because when Pepe was given the chance, he got sent off like an idiot. He was gone for 3 more games.
Yeah.
What does Arteta do? Now, ESR wasn't fit yet. And who else is there? Willock wasn't good enough. And these guys don't play. Reece Nelson was injured.
Is he still injured?
I think now he's out of the picture right now.
He's out of the picture, yeah.
I don't think he's away on loan anywhere, but he was, at that point of time, he was injured.
He's not on loan. He's in the squad.
Yeah. We should sell him to Palace. Perfect fit for Palace.
I would take Saint Maximin for Joe Willock and cash. I would give them.
I actually said that to somebody, and they don't want it. They don't want it. But
was it a Newcastle fan who didn't want it?
Yeah, it was Newcastle. I said that on a stream. I said all right, Willock and cash for Maximin. Perfect.
They won't have a say if they're in the championship next season.
They won't have a say. And the same thing is next year, this summer, I want to go after Barcelona's players. If we're gonna act like a big club, I mean, they're gonna want to loan out. They want to get rid of they want to get some of their, maybe Dembele, possibly Coutinho.
Don't want him.
Coutinho.
Coutinho. No, I'm not saying Coutinho. I'm saying Dembele. Dembele would be.
Dembele's knees will shut down.
He's Pepe 2.0. He's Pepe 2.0.
Yeah, but I don't know with the Alba pairing. I think he could do a lot better.
I don't think so. If they're taking Pepe for Dembele direct swap, I would take it.
Oh, I would take that in a heartbeat. I mean,
the reason they wanted
cash, I could care less. Get that signing done.
No, there are some young players. I think they offered us. Whom did they offer us? They offered us that Frimpo or whatever his name is. They offered him that guy Fripo. I think his name is Fripo. For whom did they offer us Fripo? I forgot. Igal did that stream. Wait, they offered us Fripo for. Was it Bellerin? I think Fripo and cash for Bellerin. Yeah, I think that was what they offered us. There's a guy. There's a player.
Where does he play?
Barcelona. Barcelona offered Fripo right back.
Oh, okay.
Or was he back?
I mean, do you think they'll sell De Jong or
I think Max Aarons is the way to go. We really need Max Aarons from Norwich. 100%.
Actually, a player that like De Jong or like Pjanic would be like perfect here.
De Jong will be perfect. You're right.
Sorry, Fripo plays left back. They offered us Fripo and Cash.
I mean, we do
They
need
offered
to
us Fripo and Cash for Bellerin.
I think
yeah, Fripo and Cash, and so Cedric would play right back. Fripo would be the backup to Tierney.
See, for our left back, I think we're going after the Crystal Palace one, right?
Van Holt, what is his name? Van Holt, I guess.
No, the other one. I forgot his name.
Which one? Crystal Palace has a shit defense, to be honest, this season at least.
No, but their left back is like their best player.
I think his name is Van Holt or something like that only.
See, that guy's out of contract at the end of the year.
I think it is him because we wanted him before also.
What's the name of that guy, actually?
Patrick Van...
Tyreek Mitchell.
Mitchell. I didn't hear that rumor, but I heard Patrick Van Holt was linked with Arsenal.
Yeah, because he has a free he's off contract in the summer, but didn't materialize. But
the problem there is that when Arsenal gets some of these free players, the fan base will be like, "Oh, that's typical Arsenal. We're getting free players again." But they don't understand when you want to get 6 or 7 players, there will be at least a couple or 3 players at least that you'll be getting for free. Like Willian, the club had 2 options. Either you go for Willian, or you pay an 8 million loan deal per year for Coutinho. They went for a Premier League proven one. Whether it works out or it doesn't work out really that well, they didn't have to pay a penny for him upfront. They had to pay his wages, which also he took a pay cut for.
Yeah.
Now they could have gone for 8 million for Coutinho, and the deal would have flopped completely, and they would have spent 8 million rather than spending around another 10 or 12 million on signing another player, which they spent that cash on Thomas Partey.
I see the wisdom of signing Willian because no one could have expected him to be this. He's been poor. No matter how much you read him, he has been poor, and I don't think anyone could have expected him to be this poor when we signed him.
Could anyone have expected?
We'll see. I feel like jury's still out on that one.
Could anyone have expected Danny Ceballos to be this shit after the finish that he had to last season? Yeah. Everyone wanted him back and he was tweeting about the FA Cup. He was tweeting about the FA Cup final, and the Arsenal fan base was right, like, this guy is through and through Arsenal. Let's have him back. When he was tweeting about the Arsenal final, FA Cup final, yes, we have won this. Yes, I feel like part of the squad and all that shit.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, the Arteta bandwagon will not focus on the fact that we wanted Danny Ceballos back. He's been worse than Willian in many ways, but they will not criticize the one that they wanted back. They will focus on the one that we got for free, and they will say that we never wanted Willian. But if someone asked them, did you want Danny Ceballos last season, at the end of last season, after his performances towards the end, or after that Burnley game, they wouldn't have an answer. But the problem is they don't get asked the real kind of questions or the honest kind of questions, which would actually make them nervous.
Yeah, but that's also, our media doesn't do the same thing either.
No, but if our media asked Arteta, did you think that Danny Ceballos would be this poor last season? Based on last season, he would say no. That is what exactly this fan base would also say. No one would expect that. Did you expect that Willian would be this poor after last season? Arteta would say no. But the fan base would say, we knew this would happen. That is the problem. If Arteta says that I couldn't expect Danny Ceballos to be this shit, and the fan base agrees, we wouldn't expect him after what he did last season. But if Arteta says the same thing, that I couldn't expect Willian to be this bad, they will say, what is the purpose of this recruitment? What is the purpose of this recruitment?
I don't think anyone could say.
Have you seen the criticism that Willian gets weekly on Twitter or other platforms as a Chelsea agent?
I think the reason that's happening is because we've had Czech and we've had Luis, who haven't exactly had stellar experiences. Czech had
are you still saying that David Luiz has been a bad signing for us?
He's an alright signing, man. Yeah, but he's definitely not the centre back that we need to stick to.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about whether he should be the centre back of the future or not. But I think he has done more than he did at Chelsea in the last 2 years.
He didn't even the Europa League with Chelsea.
That was he. I don't think he was even playing regularly in the Europa League.
I think it was him and
no, Rudiger, Christensen, and all these guys. It was rotation going on.
All right.
He came to Arsenal to actually win a trophy, and he did the FA Cup. I mean, see, we all knew that he has mistakes in him, but the problem is the fan base thinks that if a defender like David Luiz comes to Arsenal, he's going to be our savior in that sense, like they did with Arteta. And when Arteta doesn't deliver in his second season because he's under more pressure and the squad is being changed, they start taking his case. The fact that David Luiz can still get into our squad on a regular basis ahead of likes of Rob Holding. Who else is this? Karam Chambers.
I think Holding has been better than Luiz this season. Holding had a much better season.
I don't think so.
He had a decent run. The run where it was just him and Gabriel playing for a while. And when it was
they're about even. They're about even, I think.
I think Holding gets a lot more stick than he deserves. If you talk about Willian, I think Holding gets the same kind of treatment.
Holding.
So what do you guys want to see from now to the end of the season, though? Like, that's a big question.
Europa League title.
I would like to see that, but
if you don't win the Europa League, I think other pressures should just pack up and leave. I think it's Europa League.
I think we can make a run until the quarterfinals. After that, it depends on our draw. It really depends on our draw.
The best team in the Europa League right now is Manchester United, behind a shadow of a doubt, right?
But if we get Tottenham, that's going to be tough also. Regardless.
I feel like Tottenham is going to get knocked out by United or one of the other big guns.
And then same thing with the Milan. Same thing with
they can't stand up to either Milan or United. There's no way Tottenham are standing up to Milan or United. They're going out right there, and then we've seen that we can beat United. And I'm sure we can beat Milan as well.
I think we can beat Villarreal actually.
Yeah, I think we can beat every team in the Europa League except for Tottenham.
And Manchester.
I think I think we can beat United as well. We've had a really good record against Manchester United since Arteta's coming.
Well, what's the German team? What's the German team in Europa? What's the German team in Europa?
Isn't it? It's not Leipzig. It's Leipzig.
No, it's not.
No, Leipzig kicked out United, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think there is a German
Wolfsburg either. Stuttgart. It's VfB Stuttgart was the German team.
Yeah, could be. But I think everyone is underestimating Rangers. I get that feeling.
Rangers. Yeah, I feel like the teams that are left that are hard is Ajax. Ajax can be a good team on its day. Villarreal.
Sorry.
United.
No, but
and then,
a lot of people are talking about Granada.
Yeah. And then definitely Tottenham.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I think Olympiacos will be a toughest challenge in the Europa League from here to the final.
I get the feeling Zlatan is going to fuck United over.
I think United have too much quality to just get played.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I got to get going, but yeah, it's good to talk. It's good to be on here. I'll definitely be back another time. Thanks again. Thanks for having me.
So just let's wrap it up. It's already been 1 hour 20 minutes odd. So
yeah.
At the one last question again, Bhargav, say it out loud. Willian was man of the match.
Willian's definitely the man of the match for today. But I want to see 4 good games from here on out.
Already
for the next 4 games.
After the 2.
Next
after
4
the
games.
2. Okay. Lyndon says Pepe is the man of the match.
Yes, I think that was head and shoulders above Willian. I don't see why he's not.
Head and shoulders.
Willian did put 2 assists.
Head and shoulders.
if only Pepe's head could actually interpret all those things happening on the football team, on the pitch, in real time. I will request you again, Lyndon, just go and watch. Sorry, those 10, 15 odd seconds where Odegaard is standing in the middle of the box and saying pass, 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 and this guy is like doing his stupidity.
Maybe he's
And-
spoken Norwegian, man. We don't know.
Yeah, whatever he was smoking, he was there on the left hand side with one defender around him and the goalkeeper. And Odegaard is like literally frustrated at the center of the box. You're already leading 3-1. You don't need to be doing this shit. Just pass me the ball. I am clear on goal. And he doesn't do it. If I get that clip, I'll share it on the WhatsApp group as well. And so, even if Pepe would have played 10 times better than Willian today, I would still say this guy is selfish. I was about to tweet about it, but I said let the fan base enjoy the moment. Anyways, thanks guys for coming on, and we'll definitely do more debates and more discussions. And thank you everyone in the chat as well. I think the
Thanks for
Ram
having me.
fever has sure. Thank you, Bhargav and Lyndon. I think the Ram fever has
Thanks for
died
having
down
me.
a bit after all that. I had
some rest.
some chocolate milk cookies and stuff, whatever shit that was, and some chips. But big up to you guys as well, and hope to see all these guys, Sankalp, John, Cheddars, and even Sam, and I don't know who Jimmy Savile is, but whoever that guy is as well, someday in the future on the on the
Look him up
podcast.
afterward.
No, I don't want to. Is he
Watch out,
that
Jimmy.
guy? Is
This
that the name of the guy who actually entered the Queen's chamber in London? Is that the guy? The name of the guy?
Nah, there's more to it. Yeah, look that up. Look that one up. I don't want to describe him.
I don't know about that, but Sam Greenwood is the name of Mason Greenwood's brother who plays for Arsenal's academy.
No, he's not. We have trolled him enough. We have
Yeah.
trolled him enough. Please don't leave us. Please don't go away. But eventually he did, but not this Sam Greenwood. Anyways, so big up to you guys as well and everyone on the panel, and we'll do some fucked up shit in the next few weeks as promised. There will be Adam as well, probably coming on drunk, and I'll be there drunk, and some of these other guys sober or drunk, whatever they'll be drinking. And probably we do another 5.5 hour stream like we did on New Year's. I celebrated New Year's in 4 damn countries that day. But thanks, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, it was lockdown and everything was shutting down here at around 11 p.m. So, anyways,
I was gonna say, come check out the Big Yellow Friday stream on Steven's channel. It's like a 9-hour stream on like liver disease, so liver disease awareness. So probably be there. Just want to say, thanks again, man.
Sure, and you can put the link of Steven's channel in the comments as well, or you can probably put it up. I don't think the chat will allow it, but you can put it in the comments so that people can join in. And whenever they see this video and they're not drunk enough, they can definitely hop on. And big up to all you guys coming here on a Sunday evening, night, whatever. And go guys, get laid. Thanks guys for tuning in. Bye.